Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this session today we are going to see how we can migrate our Cypress framework or the Cypress project to the latest version, that is the version 10.x or 10. Whatever version that is currently supporting. So there are some breaking changes that it is available as compared to the previous version that we were keep on learning. So for that actually I just wanted to showcase you guys that what was the folder structure and how it is going to change now. So if you see that under Cypress, there were actually a predefined, these many folders were there. If you see that, so node underscore modules, it is the basic, all the libraries will be coming here. That is the node package. And if you see, there is a download folder. It's basically blank. Fixtures, we already know about the fixtures where we can keep certain test data, which is available globally for all the files in your framework. Integration was the folder actually where we were keeping our test cases, whether it is what do you call your page object model or whatever it is there. So integration was the folder. Plugins, if you have any specific plugins that you want to utilize in your project, you used to keep it inside this. Support is where you can enter the your what do you call the customized commands, right? Like your own user defined commands. Like if you would have seen that we have seen already a couple of creating our own commands, right? Nothing but like the methods actually, those were present in this. Okay, so those things we used to keep it inside this. Now the actual, so this is basically where index.ts you are specifying what are the customized commands you have, but the actual commands or actual method definition used to be inside this command.js or command1.js. okay, any file you can have multiple files here, js files. Inside that you can just say cypress.commands.add. you have to give the name of that particular function or the method or the command, and you used to give the details about this. And now whatever the folders that or the files that you're creating, you have to specify that in your index.js file. So inside this you used to specify the file names, okay, and inside this all the method names with their return type. As simple as that. So this is what we have extensively seen that inside support folder. Okay, and after that there was cypress.json file. Any kind of Cypress specific configurations you can keep it here. Like for the Chrome web security, like if you are navigating from one particular domain to another domain, we used to keep it as false so that it used to accept those what do you call those kind of domains to load. And package.json, we know already, this is basically to keep all of your the commands to run your test, or like to open the Cypress, right, where we used to keep these two commands. And then you have all the dependencies, whatever dependencies, the dev dependency or the normal dependency. You can see the Cypress version, what we have seen couple of months back, it was nearly 7.4.0, but now the version 10 came with some changes that we are going to see. And tsconfig.json, this normally stays because any kind of node project or anything that the TypeScript or JavaScript projects you are using, you need to have this tsconfig.json. It is basically used to transpile your what do you call your ts files to js file. Okay, fine. So these are basically the folder structure which we had. Just to recap, we discussed this one now. And now we are going to migrate this one. So if you see that there is a like migration guide is there, migrating to Cypress version 10.0. so you can see all these things, what are the changes that they have done. But now I'm going to showcase this practically, and let's see what are the folder structure changes were done. Okay, so the first thing what I'm going to do here, I'll open my command prompt. Okay, now let's try to upgrade this Cypress and let's see what are the different changes it is bringing to us. So I will run a command npm install, and I will say Cypress to the latest. Okay, and probably I will just keep it a even -d so that it would be local to this particular project. Okay, so as you can see that the Cypress 10.3.1 it upgraded to the latest version of the what do you call Cypress, and because I have given as a D, the dependency column dependency section is gone, and it is now coming as a dev dependency to 10.3.1. There is no problem with this, everything is fine as usual. Now let's run one of our test case actually. So I'll just go to this, or maybe I'll try to see a simple test case actually here. Let's see. Okay, so here it is just going to this, and let me just check it. Yeah, all the test cases were like what do you call commented out. Now let me run this particular test case. So to run this, I have to go to the package.json to understand what is the command it is using. So at this moment I will say npm run, and I will say Cypress, and I will open that particular Cypress actually. And you can see that it is telling that welcome to Cypress 10, because I am going to migrate my test cases right to the Cypress UI. Now see, I have upgraded the package.json, the Cypress library to 10 actually, from 7 to 10. The same thing when I am trying to open my Cypress where I want to run all these test cases, it is asking that you have to welcome to 10.10, and then it is asking continue to Cypress 10. So I'll click on this, and it is giving the migration helper. So when you try to do your old framework, right, old version of the Cypress to newer, you will see all these things, and they have given a very nice documentation of what are the different changes it is happening. That was the reason I was just recapping you guys what was the previous folder structure. And you can see that before actually it was Cypress / integration, right? You can see here integration. Under this integration folder we were keeping all of our test scripts. Now that is going to change to Cypress E2E. So when my migration will be completed, you will see this integration will be renamed as E2E. Okay, fine. Now, so if you see here, I mean the main funda was, you can see the format that they were using is the name of that test case .spec.js. They used to use that, or like let's say the name of the test case .spec.ts. I was not giving any naming convention, but then that was the before ways. Now they're changing that to the file name, whatever the or the test case name .sci, .cy, .ts or js, whatever the format you are taking it. We have changed this specific spec file extension, okay, to this one actually now. Before it was .spec, now they're keeping it as .cy. Okay, so now you can see that my previous folder structure was like this. Now they are going to change in this format actually. So I will just scroll down and I will say that okay, I'm fine to rename these specs for me. Okay, so everything is done now, and now you will see that Cypress /support/index.js. I was telling you guys, right, that under support we had index.js where I was importing the commands actually, my user defined methods, whichever files I'm keeping, I'm listing them here. So that was actually the index.js. It was coming from the support folder. Now let's see where it is going. Now what will happen, instead of index.js, they are now renaming that into e2e.js. So I'm renaming that as well for me. Okay, now I have told to you, right, cypress.json file, which we have kept it to give all the Cypress specific configurations, but it was a bit confusing, cypress.json. Okay, so for that what they did, now they are not keeping it as a JSON file, rather than they are keeping like a TypeScript or a JavaScript file only. So from JSON now they are migrating to cypress.config.ts. Okay, so it is very similar. Now in couple of days actually I was doing the WebDriver IO actually, so they're kind of making all this structure to make it more QA standpoint. So that's why you will see a lot of E2E configuration. This renaming is for the betterment of understanding the folder structure easily. Now if you see here, they've given a comment actually. So they're saying that we have imported your old Cypress plugins here. You may want to clean up this later by importing this. Okay, so any plugins that you have, that you can bring it by mentioning this particular line of code. Okay, so I'm saying that okay, migrate this one also for me. So I think pretty much everything is done. Now in by what you call introducing the version 10, they have now introduced the component testing as well. Okay, before it was E2E testing, where you were testing the all the individual components, or the UI automation testing, right? Now they're giving build and test your components from your design system in isolation in order to ensure each state matches your expectation. So at this moment I'm not configuring that. It's altogether a different set of testing. Actually, I'm sticking ourselves to E2E testing. So I'm selecting this one, and now it is asking that where do you want to run your test case, or open those spec files or the E2E files in which browser. I'm selecting as Chrome, and I'm starting the UI. And you can see that this is how it is appearing. Now it is very familiar, right? This particular what you call session, it's very similar to the Cypress UI which we were using, just a little bit change here, where it is giving all the details. You can even connect it to yourself to the Cypress dashboard, which is a like a paid feature, and you would see all of your what you call test cases are present inside this. Okay, fine. Now here what I'm going to do, I will run one of this test case, and let's see that if it is executing properly or not after migrating. So I'm clicking on this. Okay, it executed everything. So till you can see the Cypress get options, it executed actually properly, and you can see all other test cases got skipped because we already maintained the skip actually there. So, and now let's come back to our test case. Actually here I told actually to you guys, right now everything is coming as E2E. The structure now they are suggesting us to keep it the test case name .sci.ts file. Okay, you can have the POM structure, all the folders, files, everything you can keep it. Only the test cases you need to make it as a test case name .cy. The extension. Okay, now fixtures stays as it is. As we can see, there is no change. Plugins also stays as it is not changing anything. On the support you will see everything remains same, but the index.js was there, right? That converted now to e2e.js file. Okay, and index.ts file still stays as it is only, but there is a new addition or the changed from the cypress.json to config.ts. Okay, so here is one thing actually that if you see here, there is a slight issue it is coming. Even I've seen in my other folder, what it was telling is that I don't have the type node actually, so that is required to keep to remove this error actually here. And if you see that this is basically a dep dependency that we need to use it. So I will control C, I'll open my command prompt, and I will just say control C so that the UI will be closed, and I'm pasting it this one and install it. Okay, it installed successfully, and now if you see the package.json, there is a type node is coming here. Okay, and if I go to this cypress.config.ts, here still it is coming this issue. So for this, what we need to do, we need to add this node type to our ts.config. So let's come back here, and you can see there is a type. Now we have installed the node, right? So now I will be keeping this node. That's it. Now the error should go from here. You can see the error is gone. And now you can open any kind of test from the Cypress UI and you can change it. Yeah, so that was like a quick guide to how you can really migrate your test cases or your framework to Cypress 10 version. Because it was a different way we were taking certain steps. Not all the upgrades will be really needing all these changes. Maybe for the they have identified certain drawbacks or maybe some usability stuff, and they wanted to improvise it. Now this should be good. You can, as usual, you can use your own way, and then in our upcoming sessions we will see how we can utilize the latest version to write different test cases, and also we will see what are the other features they have changed based on the version 10. Okay, so that was pretty much it. Hope this session is helpful for you. Do subscribe to this YouTube channel and stay tuned for our upcoming topics. Thank you for watching.